Yo, what's going on, everybody? My name is Ian, and welcome back to the channel. If you guys are new here, hit that subscribe button and turn on that notification bell, and let's get right into this guide. Actually, guys, it's going to be a bit different from my normal videos. I feel like, just to refresh things a little bit, I'm going to give you guys a very extensive guide on ganking the lanes, pressuring any mid lanes, the side lanes, the mid lane, just pressuring them while you're on a jungler. This is something that a lot of people struggle with. I myself always am thinking about how to better improve my side lane pressure capabilities, and today I'm going to give you guys just an extensive guide on my thoughts on what you should be doing to be pressuring those lanes. It doesn't matter the mid lane, the side lane, you will learn how to pressure those lanes way better after watching this entire video. Anyways, let's get right into it, where usually at the start of the game, preferably for me, I'm going to be starting at the blue buff. This is because also I don't want to be getting invaded level 1, so I'll always just be starting on that blue buff. You always want to be getting it guaranteed. I don't want to be running out of mana as soon as I finish my jungle clear. And also, guys, the bot lane is easiest to gank, because how it works with the map is the bot laner, for them, it's the top lane. They don't have like any vision when they are top lane, so it's just best to be ganking the bottom lane. It doesn't really matter for me if the bot lane is Abyssal or Dark Slayer. I'm just always going to be starting blue. So again, I'm just going to go to my full jungle clear, finish my red up, and then if I see there's no fighting going on bot, then I'll rotate to mid and clear the wave with my mid laner usually. From there, I can either go to Sentinel or Dragon, or maybe I can go to the side lanes before then. If there was fighting at bot lane, I'm going to that and run towards it to help, of course. You know, if my Abyssal laners, my ADCs are fighting, my Dark Slayer laners are fighting, I'm just going to run to that. Sometimes I'll wait nearby a few seconds just to see what their laner does and if my laner can bait them. This means, you know, if I finish my jungle clear at level 4, I just finish that red buff in that camp nearby, I'm just waiting a bit, and I ping attack to my laner knows, okay, my jungler is here to help me out. Let me go and start a fight here, and then I'll wait and see whether he can or can't start a fight with the enemy laner. If he can, that's very good. I'll just instantly jump on it. If he can't, then again, no big deal. We just run to that mid lane like I was saying. Share that gold. Help clear the wave a little bit faster so your mid lane can rotate even quicker. You can now rotate and get those objectives like I was saying with the Abyssal or the Sentinel. It just makes it a lot easier with your mid laner now unlocked, and now he can rotate with you wherever you go. But yeah, if they do activate the fight, very good. I'm just going to run to that and help. If I do gank the side laners, like say someone baited and they use the flicker, whether they die or not when they use the flicker, I'm going to camp their lane and wait for them to respawn just to kill them again. You can only do this on assassins, guys. If you're ganking the bot lane and they use the flicker, then you want to stand on that bush next to the lane. I'll probably put like a thumbnail or like a screenshot of what I'm talking about here with an arrow. There's a specific bush near the lane on the right side when you're ganking the bot lane. We just always want to be jumping onto them. It's when they're walking back to their tower. Again, I'll show what you mean, but you just want to stand there, and while they're running back to their outer tower, you just want to jump onto them, whether it's a Quillen, a Cricknack, Ryoma, any assassin like that that can just deal super high burst damage very early on to the game. It's a very good idea to be camping them, especially when you know they have no flicker. But yeah, you really only want to do that on the assassins. But again, that's all the early game stuff. Now you need to figure out the rest of your match. You just got past the first 2-3 minutes maybe. Now the stuff you need to think about are how tanky are their side laners, and can they easily escape you. This is just talking about how much HP they have and how much mobility they have. Heroes like Zuka, you know, they're very squishy, but they can escape you very, very easily if you're not careful. Honestly, I think Zuka is one of the easiest side laners to gank, in my opinion, just because he's not too hard to catch. Really, he has a lot of mobility, but you can always keep on to him if he is in a fight. He's really hard to disengage. Irie too, kind of. If you can just get onto her in a side lane fight, she's most likely dead. Yeah, along with, can I get the towers? If I kill them, can I get the dragon? Usually, when you are ganking the side lanes, there has to be a purpose behind it. You're not just rotating to rotate. You have to be thinking about everything. If you're not thinking about everything every second as a jungler, or a support even for that matter, those two roles, the support and jungle, you always just need to be thinking, what's next, and why are you doing this, what you're doing. You need to have a purpose in mind wherever you're going. But the question is, can you get an objective, pretty much? You want to be securing objectives along with the ganks you get. You really want to be focusing on the ADC lane most of the game, making sure they win the lane and secure every dragon. You want to be getting your ADC lane fed, and if not fed, you just want to keep him above more gold than the ADC laner. Guys, in this meta of all ADCs, you just need to be keeping pressure on that ADC lane, because whichever ADC gets ahead quick, that's most likely going to be who wins the game, just because of how powerful the ADCs are right now. You really just need to be keeping up on the Abyssal lane. You want to be visiting there as much as possible, getting those ganks, and just doing as much work as possible to hinder the enemy ADC's gold and things like that, while also boosting your own. But like I was saying, you want to be rotating to these side lanes in mind to get a tower, to get a kill. Maybe you don't even need to get a kill, as long as you know, okay, if me and this side laner are here, that means everyone else is around off the map somewhere. So I know it's going to be a 2v1 versus this side laner. Now let's say this Varus has to run away from her tower and just let me and like my Omen or something take down her tower, and that's all because instead of rotating away, I just stayed at the tower and helped the Omen secure it. A lot of times that happens where you just need to stay around, and if you don't want to show yourself, you can just stand in a bush near the tower. If the Varus tries to clear, then you guys just 2v1 her. It's very good though if you know everyone else is away from the map. You don't want like their support to come up from behind the Varus and just start heal spamming her, teaming, you know, ult. So you just need to be very wary of where everyone else is around the map and things like that. But yeah, you really want to be focusing on the ADC lane most of the game. This is because the dragon got a special buff as well. On top of this being an ADC meta, excuse me, yikes, sorry, it was a bit burpy, but on top of the Abyssal lane having those extra gold minions, and all the ADCs being super hyper carry mode right now, you know, with Caphine, Hayate, Sidelanes, they just do massive damage. Not even Elsu, guys. Elsu is just out of the meta for most of the part. He's okay, but all of these other ADCs can just melt anything. Hayate, Caphine, are you kidding me? 4K crits, just like nothing on Caphine. But yeah, you want to be securing these dragons just because of that red buff effect. You know, the bleeding effect is the best way to put it. Just those 3 ticks for 3 seconds that can really pick up quite a few kills, actually. I get several kills just from the bleeding effect in a day, you know. It actually does get a lot of kills sometimes. Oftentimes I spend too long at Darkslayer myself, and if I fail this gank when I'm ganking their Darkslayer, like even today, guys, I remember I was standing at the Darkslayer laner trying to kill a Marja. I jumped onto her as something and she ulted away. Then like 20 seconds later I tried to do it again, and again she just ulted. I thought it wasn't going to be on cooldown, but I checked her items and she just had Flashy Boots first item, so she had that cooldown reduction, and the gank just didn't work twice in a row. We just spent like 30 seconds doing nothing with our time, and all the while bot lane there's this havoc going on, serious issues with the RADC, and you can instantly feel like a momentum shift while I'm spending 30 seconds of my time doing nothing at the top lane. I can really just feel the game becoming harder when stuff like that happens. Darkslayer laners like Marja and Florentino are quite hard to gank unless you're on specific heroes. This is something you need to keep in mind. You don't want to try and be ganking lanes when you know that the chances of actually killing them are slim, or even clearing it. You know, if you're versus an Ibanez lane, you're never going to want to visit a super tanky lane. You know, some people go Ibanez lane. There's no reason to ever go there. Always go to the other side of the map. Literally no reason to visit an Ibanez lane unless it's maybe Abyssal. Then you just want to get the Abyssal and run out of there. Again, there's no point to ever gank something like an Ibanez. I'm trying to think of other hard side lanes to gank. I can't really think of any right now. Yeah, I literally can't think of any, but things like Ibanez where they can just ult and run away. A lot of people in Conqueror do that. It's just super unkillable. So when you know you're in a game where the enemy side laner is unkillable, just don't visit that lane, guys. You have to keep in the back of your mind, I'm not going to visit this lane anymore. Maybe once, twice, 3 times in a game for specific situations, getting the tower after you've already pressured the other lane, things like that. But you just need to be keeping that in tower, because even like I just said, I had to try and gank that Marja. I failed for like 30 seconds, and instantly the momentum shifted in the other team's favor for a little bit. I'm not even sure what happened from that game. I think we still won, but it was still a very big issue for me to just waste so much time for like 30 seconds over there ganking the Marja. And same can happen with Florentino. If you're not on heroes like a Zill or something, it will be pretty hard to gank the Florentino. Guys, Zill and who else? Kriknak. Honestly, those are my favorite side laners, or excuse me, they're my favorite side lane killers. They can just instantly jump on as soon as they finish their jungle clear or at any point in the game, and they can easily pick up a kill, get in and get out of their super effective side lane killers. And if you do want to be spending more time pressuring the side lanes, I do suggest heroes like Kriknak, maybe even Nacroth if you're very good on him, but only if you're very good on him. There's no other point to pick Nacroth unless you're super good at playing that hero. But yeah, Zill is just an amazing side lane killer for heroes like Florentino, Varus, Richter. All the meta side laners really can die pretty easily to a Zill. Only go Darkslayer if you know for certain that you can get a kill or invade. Never leave the ADC lane unchecked for too long. We pretty much just explained that, where I just tried to gank that Marja, wasted all my time, didn't really do anything. If you're on an ADC jungle, then you should focus more on mid lane for most of the early game. You know, as soon as you finish your jungle clear, usually you don't even want to wait around at bot to try and bait and stuff. You just want to instantly run up to your mid lane, unless of course you see fighting. But usually you just want to run up to your mid lane and be getting that gold. You want to share the gold. Then you can either go to Sentinel, go to Dragon, and do whatever you need to do. Honestly, I would just go to whatever your buff is spawning nearest. You know, like at bot lane, if the Dragon's there, you just want to go and do the Dragon. Then go straight back into your red buff and all that, so you can get the most gold early game as possible funneled into, because ADC is all about that early game lead. If you're not winning early game on the ADCs, then you're not going to be getting into the late game as fast as you want, so you're never going to be as effective in that game. A lot of talking. Sorry guys. But yet, you always just want to be focusing a little bit more in the mid lane for most of the early game. Your damage is pretty insignificant, and you need to have a bit of farm before you go to side lanes and try to get kills. Maybe until you get boots, then you can start visiting the side lanes regularly. But in the early game, you just want to be going back and forth between mid wave and your jungle clear. On heroes like Nacroth, you need to constantly be pressuring side lanes. Complete opposite to heroes like Lindis and Violet, who just need to be camping in the mid lane. Nacroth, Kriknak always just need to be focusing on the side lanes and using their assassination prowess to be able to picking up those kills. And Nacroth especially, just be clearing waves. It doesn't even matter about getting the kills. It's just about the objective game on Nacroth. Clearing waves, getting those towers, split pushing, having your gold ahead of everyone else in the entire match. You shouldn't ever be focused on mid lane, really, on heroes like Nacroth or Kriknak. And yeah, the best junglers to gank are my excuse me, I can't talk. The best junglers to gank are assassins, way over ADCs, at least in the early game. ADCs, you know, they're like Lindis, you know, her passive only comes online after a little bit of time, so you just need to be waiting for that. Same with Violet, after that Clave Sanctity and all those crits start coming online, then you can really start doing some work on the side lanes. But for the early game, you need a couple of waves from the mid lane to really be super effective. If you guys follow these tips, for sure you'll be destroying enemy teams. Just always remember to never let your ADC Abyssal scale too hard. The enemy ADC Abyssal, you always want to be camping around there, never letting them get ahead by too much. And I'm sure you guys will be able to do amazing in your matches. Again, never visit the Darkslayer laner unless you know there's a very good purpose to go there. Don't just go there and you know, okay, it's an Ibanez lane, wow, I'm not even going to be able to kill him. You go there, you're not able to kill him, and then chaos is going on at bot lane because your bot lane is 3v4 while you're 2v1 and not even getting a kill at top lane. So you just always need to be having a goal and a focus in your mind while you are ganking these lanes. If you are not constantly thinking on a jungle or even a support, then you are playing this game wrong and you are abusing your rank, because you could be getting a higher rank if you listen to tips like these. Anyways, guys, that is it for this guide on jungle pressuring these lanes. If you guys enjoyed, again, hit that subscribe button, turn on the notification bell, and I need to take a break, get a drink of water, because I've been talking so much in this video. My throat is starting to hurt. Goddamn. But yeah, really hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Stream today at 5 p.m. Eastern. Tune into that. And yeah, that is it, guys. I will see you all tomorrow, or tonight rather, if you guys decide to show up in the stream. Peace out.